What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another install in this episode, and today we're going to be working on the Z. I got this product. This is a stillen product made for the Z chassis, I believe for the G chassis as well, but this is used for brake cooling. As you guys can see, I already took the rims off, so I have availability for this. But this is the whole brake system. I do have the big brake kits that comes with Nissan, the calipers. This is used to cool this rotor. But behind this rotor, this item is going to go and sit. What's going to happen is, you got all these ductings. This is actually made for brake cooling. It's able to bend. It can face very high temperatures. These brake ducts, they're going to be integrated into the bumper right here. I took a piece of cardboard. I made this janky drawing of mine, and this gives me the dimensions of this because it goes all the way to the back. And now I'm going to be able to take this, after carefully measuring it and figuring out where I want it, I'll be able to go out and do this and use this as a mock-up, be able to use the Dremel to cut this so this air duct can sit where this janky drawing of mine is. As this gets installed into the bumper, this piece is going to go over this, just like that. This thing is going to be going through the bumper, attaching to the mouthpiece, and it's going to come all the way around. It's going to bypass behind the shock, and it's going to bend around and come right here. Now when it comes right here, it's going to be reduced to the smaller size, and it's going to attach to the back of this. All these come with supplied hardware from Stillen, these clamps with zip ties as well. So now you understand, as the air hits the front of the bumper, it is going to directly move through, and it's going to go through here. And as the rotor is spinning right here, this cold air is going to be hitting this rotor. Now if you road race, if you do anything, whatever, if you do hard braking, this is a big advantage because you're going to save the life of your rotor, and you won't be buying new rotors all the time. So now we're going to begin the install. Obviously, first, before anything, you're going to have to take your wheel off. Second, we're going to be attacking these two brake bolts that are right here. Two big bolts. These are blue. You're gonna have to start attacking these. This is what attaches this caliper to the hub assembly, and you're able to remove this. And the next step that you're gonna be doing is you're gonna remove this whole rotor after this is removed.
In order to be able to attack those bolts behind the caliper, you're gonna need a size 22.
Before you do this, you're gonna need to remove the ABS sensor right here. It's just a 10 millimeter. So go ahead and remove that, and then when you're all done, you can put it back in.
Alright, so make sure you bungee cord your brake caliper so it doesn't fall off or the line isn't hanging. Make sure too that you label your rotors so you don't put it on the wrong way.
As well, I forgot to mention this, guys, but you're gonna need a bolt like this, size 14.
But you're gonna need this because when you go to take off your rotor, it's gonna be stuck on there. So what this little hole is for is that you screw something like this in. Just very slowly. This contacts whatever metal is behind it, and it helps the rotor push forward a little bit, and then that way you can remove it.
Alright guys, now that the rotor and everything is off, next what you need to do is right here where this wheel bearing is, there are 4 bolts. 1, 2, and 2 like the same at the bottom. It's going to require
Size 17 for you to be able to attack this from behind.
Yeah, so now we're gonna go ahead and unbolt that and be able to remove this whole piece.
Alright, so the wheel bearing is kind of in a position. You're probably going to need a mallet. I don't have a mallet, so I'm just going to do a trigger tactic and hope for the best. Well, that was a success. Just with a little bit of a tap, I got the whole wheel bearing is out. So this is what spins. And I also marked the top with a Sharpie. I didn't have yellow, but that way I know. But now that this is out,
you're going to want to do exactly what you did to this side to the other side.
And added the color to these, and they came out really nice. I think the black looks nice. Not that you'll be able to see it, but now that I got the blue thread lock, now all you want to do is just repeat the steps that you did to take it off. You want to put it back on. First, you're gonna have to put this, and this is gonna be behind it.
On this outside part of this, you're gonna want to put a little bit of like oil.
It's just gonna squeeze in easier. This side is assembled, all the bolts are in, some thread lock. You need to torque it down to 65 foot-pounds. We're gonna need a torque to 110 foot-pounds. Well, alright, the whole rotor is back on, the brake caliper is back on, all the bracketries are assembled, everything is looking nice.
Now that the whole brake is put on both sides, start doing the ducting. That way it's all the way duct to the front and we can figure out where we're gonna zip tie it. Last, we're gonna cut the bumper. Alrighty, now everything is installed. Zip side the hosing. This is the smaller hose. It goes back. I turn the wheels to make sure I clamped it in. Now I'm going to be cutting it right here. Then I'm going to be adding this reducer, which is the smaller hose can go clamp onto this, and then run the bigger hose. Before I do that, I'm going to do the same to the other side. Back at it again. And now this time we're actually going to be cutting up the bumper. I taped this whole section of my bumper. Alright, so after taping that off, I went ahead and put this on. From my understanding, this looks the way I want it to. Probably gonna want to grab like a dermal or something. You probably want to get a kit, but we're gonna use this to cut this piece of the bumper out. Now that we got the Dremel ready, we got all the tools. We're gonna use a cutoff saw like that, one of these heads. Now it's time to cut. So if you're this far already, this is like the no return point. Alright guys, we cut the bumper now. Everything came out very nicely. So now what we're gonna do next is we're gonna actually take this, go ahead and put this in here, and go ahead and mock up our holes for where we're gonna drill the hardware in. These ducts, if you leave them open, I was worried about maybe debris going in, like rocks or something like that. You never know. If it goes right through, it's gonna go and hit the back of your rotor. So I had some of this like extra mesh and I went ahead and integrated it, used the zip tie. The bumper's cut, fitment's perfect. We got the ducts, we pulled the hoses, cut the hoses too. I also went ahead and put some 3M tape behind the duct. That way when it sits on the bumper, it's nice and flush. The whole shebang is done. I like how they look. They are very dirty, don't mind that, but everything looks nice. You guys can see they were attached to there. Use some zip ties, my favorite lines, all the way to the back of the rotor. And I give this install maybe like a 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 difficulty. It wasn't very hard. It's kind of time consuming and involves a lot of stuff, but wow, this came out nice. Again guys, thank you so much for tuning in today and watching this install. Hopefully you guys learned something or enjoyed watching this video. Please hit that subscribe button if you would like to watch any of our future videos that I make. Please, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. See you guys next Saturday with a new video.